unseemly, it's unbecoming, it's ungodly, and I don't like it. Yeah, it's a serious issue, and I think that's it. It's okay to get angry about when you really feel slighted, and a lot of people really feel slighted by these Antifa groups. You know, you're not going to tell us what to do, how to speak in America, dude. You're in the wrong country. If you've got to feel a need to squelch somebody's free speech because it stings your ears, then it's not the right place. And certainly don't go near them. Turn off the TV if you don't want to hear what they have to say. And don't go to the rallies where you know you're going to meet people that support Donald Trump. I'm not speaking for white supremacy. Last series I did, okay, I got all into that. I'm not going back into how abominable I think that any supremacy, I don't care what race you are, because there's plenty of all around. Okay, all the races can be racial, okay, tribal, whatever you want to call it, and it's ugly. Okay, I don't care. I love people. I look. I've seen beautiful black women, beautiful brown women, beautiful red and yellow women. I find women attractive. I could mate with any of them, have babies with them, and then what are you going to say? Okay, in a lot of ways, America's a melting pot. In a lot of ways, it's a salad bowl. It doesn't matter. Okay, let things be. We don't need reverse discrimination. We don't need affirmative action. We don't need playing favorites. Where does it end? Where it's inequality. It's favoring somebody over another. I don't care what color. I don't care if it's whites being favored. I'm no in favor, more in favor for that. I don't even. Am I white? I mean, I've got some Native American in me. Were they white people? Because a lot of Native Americans were white. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, you go north of the border, and it's all North America. Canada's North America. And, you know, so we're all relatives of Canada as well. And I've got relatives from above. That's where my last name comes from. If you look up the town of Mississauga in Wikipedia, then you'll see the last name of Credit written all through there. But so I got some Indian, but who cares? I mean, does that make me better than anybody else? I don't want it to. See, that's an attitude I've seen in Native American Indians. That, oh, you know, because they get affirmative action. They've gotten it for a long time. It hasn't helped them. Look at the diabetes, the alcoholism, the problem they have with drugs. I mean, all kinds of issues. Now with the casinos, they're making money. Some of them, a few, a handful. Great wealth and income disparity within their tribes. So the Indians have nothing more to be proud about than any other Native American, a native earthling. We're all just earthlings here. I'm speaking to everybody. When I speak on video, okay, I'm talking to everybody. I'm everybody's brother. And I wish everybody thought that they were my brother or sister out there, that we're in this thing together. We are one family. God wants us to love each other, and part of loving each other is respecting each other. If you like to be heard, then listen to other people and understand that they might really believe what they're saying. And that's, you've got to take them at face value, but be willing to listen to them before you speak, without an attitude, without your own agenda. Okay, but I admire, like InfoWars at least, they say, you know, underhanded is bad. And that's what the mainstream media, they're all about being underhanded, tricking you and not telling you that they've got an agenda. That's underhanded, but they do. But InfoWars goes out there, they're overhanded. At least people know where they're coming from right away. That they, you know, InfoWars supported Trump for a while. Not all of his reporters were on board 100%. Okay, and Jones was fine with that. That's the way it is. I sure as hell wasn't on board at first. No way. I didn't know who I really liked. I mean, if Paul had run, I would have liked that. Rand Paul would have been the best choice. Of course, Americans, you know, they don't get it. He doesn't have the charisma, the whole thing. You know, if you don't have a degree of charisma, you're not going to be the president, right? So somehow they got to pray for charisma within the Paul family, but these guys understand economic policy. That's why, hands down, the Paul family, Rand or Ron, would be the best candidates for president. But Donald Trump is smart, and he was talking about growing the economy and how great this 3% growth. I don't even care about the growth of the economy. That's fine, you know, that might, you know, that little thing and this and that, but this is what I mean about tweaking it as opposed to changing its fundamental structure. That means a nation that never goes into debt, for one thing. Okay, sound economic policies where your currency retains its worth, and where labor does not have to be always obsessed with getting a cost of living adjustment due to inflation. A wholly justified pay adjustment, income adjustment. Otherwise, you're going to go underwater. It doesn't take, a large brain to figure that out, that you can't go forever without getting proportional pay adjustments if your cost of living keeps increasing. So it's serious, man. And you got to understand serious the implications are. People die. Just understand, if you support the current trend, the trajectory, this establishment, the status quo, you're defending all these dubious wars we're getting involved in, 20 guys a day taking their own lives, poor women aborting their children, prostitution, drugs, pedophilia, high crime, healthy crime rate. Okay, you're supporting the national debt, state debt, individual. You're supporting all that stuff. If you don't agree with what I'm telling you right now, I know what I'm talking about. And I know how they've screwed us over. I know how they've slowly, incrementally moved the Overton window. Our reality has been completely decimated, devastated, destroyed. Okay? That's the way it is. That's where we are in America today. And what we need to see is a lower cost of living, a lower tax on our privilege, right, to exist. Okay, because the government doesn't have to do a damn thing as far as I'm concerned, but that means they can't stop me from doing anything. And that includes homesteading at the point of a rifle. You understand how that works? You just take land, okay? What land that's designated as public governmental land belongs to me. Do you understand government and private entities? Do you understand how this whole thing works? But if the government's going to validate the bailout of '08 and destroy the worth of our currency through validating, legitimizing this theft, this overt theft, okay, this in-your-face corruption, okay, that's all it was. That was anti-capitalistic what they did. Then the government is responsible for the damage they do. Do you understand? This is serious stuff. And I'm telling you, if you support the direction this country is going and has been going for many decades now, many, I mean over 5, okay, since the coup d'etat of 1963, okay, at the hands of who most people believe was somebody that was being paid by the interest that would lose the most, okay? Cui bono. Who benefited from the death of JFK? Hey, mysteriously, no more Executive Order 11,110, effectively abolishing the Federal Reserve and supplanting what we use them for currency printing, right? Seigniorage, as they call coining, right? And he was supplanting them with these silver notes that I believe the Treasury was in charge of issuing. Okay, do you understand what that would have done? Do you understand how America would have looked today? If we could take a snapshot in history at that moment in time of the social, political, and economic atmosphere in America, where people really knew, they understood that freedom was what they were after. Okay, they want to be free. They don't want to be told what to do. They don't want to be drafted into wars like the Vietnam War. Okay? A man will go willingly. If he believes in the cause, he will go willingly. Doesn't even need to be conscripted to go kick Hitler's butt, for example. But we don't want to get involved in dubious wars. Do you understand? No national debt would have a huge national surplus. Can you understand how antithetical, what an anathema, how that is the antithesis of what these people want? To have a surplus, can you imagine that, instead of a debt? Can you imagine how hard it'd be to get these dubious wars started? Can you imagine what a dinky little crime rate there would be? Can you imagine all the jobs I'm talking about here that would be in jeopardy? How much free time the American people would have if we were all just doing stuff we needed and wanted. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, I mean, this is the implications are enormous. They're legendary, and I can just barely touch on it, wrap my own mind around it, and I've lived through it. I've seen it. Okay, I remember what it was like 54 years ago. And I know where we could be today. And I know where we would be if guys like JFK had gotten their way in terms of real social, political, and economic progress. And it breaks the hell out of my heart, I got to tell you.